Hello, this video is intended to instruct you on how to put together a bass clarinet. Let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is you want to take out the two largest pieces of your bass clarinet. This one right here is called the upper joint, and you'll notice that it has these long keys right here. We call these the bridge keys. And then up here on the top, you'll notice it has a screw. This is going to be the top of the upper joint. So this one is going to go on top of the bass clarinet. The other one also has bridge keys. And you'll notice that the way they go together, where these bridge keys will be on one side and these bridge keys will be on the opposite side. I'm going to line them up before I put them together. And notice how when I did it, I am also making sure that all the keys are in a straight line going down the center of the bass clarinet. The most important thing to do before putting these two pieces together is to make sure that you push down this key right here. Now if you look very carefully, you'll see a key with a little hole in it, and then we're going to go one below that one. I'm going to push that one down, and if you look very carefully, you'll notice a little piece moving right about here. Pushing down that key moves it out of the way, so that way when I put the pieces together, the metal pieces don't hit. Now when I put them together, I'm going to squeeze and push. I'm also going to get it back and forth just a little bit like that. But I'm going to be very careful with the amount of pressure that I put on the keys. You don't want to put a lot of pressure, especially on these long rods right here, because they can bend, and once they bend, they're not usable. Now once I've done, and I've twist and pushed them together, once again, you'll see that all the keys are in a single line all the way from top to bottom. I also have my screw on top, and I have my bottom key over here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the bell. The bell looks like this. It looks like a bell, doesn't it? You have this part right here that has a pad on it. We're going to call this the bell key. And what I'm going to do is if I push it down with my thumb, I'm going to leave it down like this, and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of my bass clarinet. Just like that. Again, I'm pushing the key down, and I'm lining it up to the front of the bass clarinet. Before I push it together, I'm going to make sure that it's in line. All my keys are in a line down to the front of the bell. And I'm going to make sure that that's pushed down once again, and then twist and push until it goes all the way in. It might be a little bit difficult, okay, but it is doable, okay? So this is not something that we use cork grease for or anything like that. This is what I talk about using some elbow grease. So just a little bit of muscle, okay? Just be very careful that you're using upward pressure from the bell onto the instrument and you're not putting too much pressure on the keys and on the rods. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my peg. It looks like a stick with one rubber end. And this is going to go on the bottom of the bell. Okay, so it has a screw right here which needs to be loosened first, and then you can put that on and then go ahead and tighten it. And this is going to help determine how tall or how high the bass clarinet is going to be. The rubber end goes on the bottom. Now when I place the bass clarinet on the floor, it's resting on the rubber stop on the peg. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this. This is the neck. Kind of looks like a gooseneck. It has two sides to it. One of them is kind of slick and brown, okay? The other one is round and is slightly larger. I'm going to take the part that is slick and brown and I'm going to place it on top of the bass clarinet, and this should be in line with the front of the instrument. So you see that we've got the bell, all the keys going all the way up to the top and then up to the neck. There's a screw up here on top. I'm going to make sure that that's loose, and then I'm going to go ahead and put our neck on. One of the best ways to do this is to kind of get it going, and you can kind of slide it around in a circle. If it needs too tight, you might need to loosen it up a little bit, get that around. And you can tell that this one is not going on very easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to use the oils in my fingers, and I'm just going to put it right here. And I'm going to get some of those oils on there, and that will give it a little bit of lubricant, so that way the two pieces go together just a little bit easier. Line it up, twist and push. That went on a lot easier. Okay? After that, we'll tighten the screw just a little bit, just enough so that way the neck doesn't move around. And now your bass clarinet is put together. Doesn't that look awesome?